Well, hello again. They are back with a new problem to solve, also on the topic of arrays. However, this one is a fairly easier problem to solve. Uh, the problem says that there are two arrays A and B, and the task is to find the number of elements in the union between these two arrays. But regardless what it says, basically what it means is find the count of how many unique elements are together in these two array, which means like a 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3. So you can clearly see the three uh, are included here as well. So the unique count is 1 2 3 4 5, which is 5 total count, right? If you look at this example, 85 25 132 54 6 85 2. So in between these two arrays, 85 is common and 2 is not. So the count of A, which is 6, and then this one is unique, which is not present here. So it is 7 total. Yeah, 7, right? If you look at this one, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, something, something, and you can clearly see the unique values are 1 and 2 only. So the count is 2. Yes. How do we solve it? Well, there are yeah, two ways to solve it. That's what I could think of, and that's what is written in the editorial as well. The first one is yes, you have to loop it, brute force method. You have to loop it over both the arrays, and you have to like check for each element against the other array. And yeah, so that is a really good scenario, like the most time consuming, most non-optimized. Yeah, it takes about n square of time. N square would mean that the number of elements increase, the difficulty will increase and exponentially. Not exponentially, but square. Yeah. But is there a simpler way? Yes, we can use a data structure called hash map to solve this. Sorry, not hash map, hash set. So what does it do? It when you try to add an element into a hash set, if the element is already present, it will not add. So all you have to do in the end is to just yeah, find the length or count of the sh I'll show you both the ways. I'll yeah first that you start to show you with the not so optimized way. However, one thing I found here was uh yeah one thing I found here was that that the approach it used for brute force naive approach, it's a little bit different. Yeah, they use a list, which is an extra space, and then they traverse over the array and they check if that element is already present in the list or not. If it is not present in the list, then they add it. Okay, and they do the same for B, which is why it takes n square, because to look because you see this contains method, right? It has to loop over the entire list to check if if num is present or not, which is why it takes n square here. The method which I chose, it's a little bit different. However, it will still take n square. I'll show you how. All we have to do is first, yeah, let me just take the result, yeah, and uh, yeah, first we will do is, yeah, add the length of, let's say, A. Okay, straightforward. We'll start directly from A's length. Now we will loop over B and we'll check each element of B against each element of A. Okay. And what we'll do is if element uh, ins if jth element of A equals bth ith element of B, then what will we do? We won't. Okay, we'll take a boolean here. Okay, which will say is present. Initially, it's false. All we'll do is present equals true. Once the loop is finished, right, then we can also we can actually break the loop. I think so. It will be slightly optimized. You won't have to like once it matches, you don't have to look further. You can just set it to true and break. And now you can check if is present is still false, then you can add to the result. Okay, and you can return the result. I have the same example. You can see it's 7, right? Okay, and this will work all the time. How do we use hash set? It's fairly easy. Okay, you don't have to do anything, just declare a hash set. First of all, it will take ints and let's say union. All you have to now do is loop over loop over both the arrays and you keep adding them in the hash set. Oops, do we need brackets? If we just need to need one line, right? But it's usually we use those blocks because it's good for readability. But who cares about readability when you're writing solving questions or DSA? So and at the end you just return the count, and this should yeah see solve that should yes. So yeah, these two are the methods I could understand, and yeah, it was fairly simple question. I don't think there's much you can do with this problem. All right, see you next time.